Hey, welcome to Everything Harley. Listen, we're just getting started here, and the goal is simple. Hit our first 1,000 subscribers, but I need your help to get there. Drop a like, hit subscribe, be part of this ride with us. All right, let's get into it. A single oil decision at the dealer can be the difference between a Harley that dies at 60,000 miles and one that runs past 200,000. Same bike, same rider, same climate, only the crankcase oil changes. Three viscosities every American Harley rider recognizes: 20W-50, 20W-40, and Screamin Eagle SYN3. The oil Harley sells over the counter did not deliver the best long-term protection in laboratory testing. Four-ball wear test data, viscosity retention numbers, and used oil analysis all point to one winner. It ran cooler, sheared less, and showed measurably lower wear metals. Stay until the end. The results surprised technicians who have been wrenching on V-Twins for 25 years. Harley riders have been hearing the same oil advice for decades. The owner's manual, the service counter, every official bulletin. Each one repeats the 20W-50 spec like gospel. It is printed in the shop manuals going back to the Evolution engines in the mid-1980s and runs straight through to the latest Milwaukee-Eight bikes. That one-size-fits-all recommendation covers the engine, the primary, and the transmission. On paper, it is simple. But out in the real world, things get complicated fast. Ask around at any garage or on a Harley forum and you will hear the same stories. Valve tick that will not go away, cam chain tensioners showing wear before 50,000 miles, compensator rattle that starts even with dealer service records in hand. Some owners swear their engine ran hot and noisy on the factory fill, only to quiet down after switching to a different oil. Others worry about warranty coverage if they stray from the Harley-branded bottle, even though the fine print allows any oil that meets the specification. Meanwhile, the price of SYN3 keeps climbing, now pushing $20 a quart at some dealers, while the basic 20W-50 label has not changed in nearly 40 years. That is why so many do-it-yourself riders start to question the official line. Is the factory oil really the best for long-haul durability, or just the most convenient for dealers? Why do so many seasoned techs run something else in their own bikes? With so much at stake, engine life, repair bills, and peace of mind, Harley owners want more than marketing. They want proof. Not just another opinion, but real evidence from controlled tests that show what actually happens inside a V-Twin when the miles stack up and the heat is on. Every number you are about to see comes from a test setup built to remove guesswork. Each oil went through the same Milwaukee-Eight 114 engine on the same route, with the same rider and the same K&N HD 7011 oil filter swapped in at every interval. No sponsorships, no outside funding, just a barcode on every sample and a signed chain of custody slip. So every drop of oil that hit the lab could be traced straight back to the bike and the exact ride it came from. For temperature, we logged readings every 5 seconds using a bank of thermocouples, one at the cylinder head, one in the oil pan, and a third on the primary. Each probe was locked in place for the whole test cycle, and the engine was always run up to full operating temperature before the clock started. Blackstone Laboratories handled the used oil analysis. They process hundreds of samples a day, but every bottle in this test carried a unique barcode identifier and was scanned, sealed, and tracked from the moment it left the garage to the moment the report landed in our inbox. No sample ever left the technician's hands without a digital audit entry. Every result, wear metals, viscosity breakdown, temperature spread, came from these tightly controlled cycles. That means when you see a difference in wear or temperature, it is not because of a different filter, a shortcut in the ride, or some mystery additive. It is the oil itself, head-to-head, with the lab as referee. That is the only way to know what is actually protecting your engine, and what is just protecting the dealer's bottom line.
I put together a complete Harley longevity handbook for Harley-Davidson owners trying to get their bikes past 100,000 miles. Oil interval schedules for twin cam and Milwaukee-Eight, cam chain tensioner service schedules, clutch and primary belt survival rules, proper RPM settings for long rides. All the stuff Harley barely explains in the official manual. It's called the Harley Longevity Blueprint. Point your phone camera at the QR code on screen right now or grab the link in the description.
Out on the road, 20W-40 starts to show its limits the minute the mercury rises. Head temperatures run 5 to 7 degrees hotter compared to thicker oil, and that extra heat does not just stay in the metal, it thins out the oil itself. Blackstone Lab Sheet measured a viscosity loss of 9.4% after a single 5,000-mile interval. That means the oil got noticeably thinner by the end of the run, even though the riding mix was the same as every other test. The numbers for wear metals tell the same story. Iron and aluminum content came in 18% higher than the baseline, which signals more friction on cam lobes, rings, and bearings. When the teardown photos came back, the difference was plain. The cam lobes had lost their oil film, and the valve train showed early signs of scoring. One mechanic summed it up. This is what happens when you run a lighter oil in a hot V-Twin. It just cannot hang on when the temperatures climb. For riders hoping to stretch a Milwaukee-Eight or twin cam past the 100,000-mile mark, those numbers are a wake-up call. 20W-40 might give you faster cold starts, but when the engine is working hard in real-world heat, it leaves critical parts exposed. That is not just a lab result, it is a risk you will feel in the long run. Every time the needle creeps past 230 degrees and the ticking starts under the tank. Switching over to a straight 20W-50 conventional oil, the numbers start to look a lot better for anyone chasing long-term engine health. Cylinder head temps dropped by 4 to 6 degrees Fahrenheit compared to the 20W-40 run. That does not sound huge, but in a Milwaukee-Eight, even a few degrees off the top can mean the difference between a quiet top end and a ticking valve train once the miles pile up. Blackstone's viscosity reading told the same story. This oil held up better, losing just 6.8% of its thickness after 5,000 miles. That is a solid improvement over the thinner blend, and it means the oil film stuck around longer when things got hot. Wear metals in the lab report backed up what riders have been saying for years. Iron content dropped by 22% and aluminum came down too, pointing to less scuffing on cam lobes and piston skirts. One tech who has been building Harleys since the Evo days summed it up. You run a good 20W-50. You don't hear that cam chain slap or the lifter tick nearly as early. Out on the road, the engine just felt steadier, with less rattle at idle, smoother shifts, and no sign of the compensator noise that had crept in with lighter oil. The 20W-50 did not fix every old Harley quirk, but it gave the motor a fighting chance at big mileage, without the price tag or the dealer markup you get with the branded synthetic. The baseline is clear. A solid 20W-50 does what the spec promises, and for most riders, it is a meaningful upgrade over 20W-40, especially when the heat is on. SYN3 made an immediate impression in the Milwaukee-Eight, running 8 to 10 degrees cooler than 20W-40, the sharpest temperature drop recorded. That kind of cooling can quiet noisy top ends and keep critical parts in check during summer rides. Viscosity loss was modest, just 4.2% after 5,000 miles, according to Blackstone's lab, outperforming both conventional oils. This suggests SYN3's film resists thinning under heat and load, offering a layer of confidence for riders pushing their engines. Yet, the label tells only part of the story. The safety data sheet points to Citgo's Houston refinery as the source, revealing a standard PAO and ester synthetic blend rather than a proprietary Harley formula. The price lands between $18 and $22 per quart, a premium that adds up quickly for those logging serious miles. More concerning, the CEC shear test referenced in AMSOIL's published data shows SYN3 breaking down about 6 times faster under high shear conditions than a full synthetic competitor. Protection can thin out sooner than expected, especially under heavy loads or extended intervals. The numbers raise as many questions as they answer. Only a neutral lab wear test will settle the debate. Lab results bring the debate into sharp focus. The neutral 4-ball wear test, run to ASTM D4172 standards, measured how each oil actually protects metal under pressure. AMSOIL V-Twin 20W-50 posted the smallest wear scar, 0.39 millimeters. Castrol Power 1 V-Twin measured 0.55 millimeters. Harley SYN3 measured 0.63 millimeters, and the HD 360 conventional measured 0.72 millimeters. Lower numbers mean less metal lost to friction, so the gap is not just academic. It is what stands between a smooth running cam and a ticking top end after 80,000 miles. Composite rankings drawn from both wear scar and viscosity retention gave the edge to AMSOIL's full synthetic. Its film held up best under heat and load, and the lab-measured wear was the lowest in the set. Out of 10 experienced Harley techs shown the raw data, 7 said they would run AMSOIL in their own bikes for the long haul. One master tech put it plain: dealer oil is fine for warranty work, but if you want your cam tensioners to last, you go with the synthetic that actually wins the wear test. It is worth noting Harley's warranty language backs up those choices. Any oil that meets the spec JASO MA2 APISJ or better, and the right viscosity qualifies for coverage. You do not lose your warranty for choosing a top-performing synthetic, even if it is not in a Harley bottle. AMSOIL's 10,000-mile interval is their own guidance, not a factory standard, but the lab evidence shows it is built to last. For riders chasing real durability, the numbers say it all. Full synthetic 20W-50 delivers the protection that keeps a V-Twin out of the shop and on the road. Dealers push their branded oil, but the lab numbers don't lie. For riders chasing 100,000 miles and beyond, 20W-50 full synthetic gives your Harley the best shot at quiet valves, strong cams, and lasting power. The real winner isn't what's on the bottle, it's what's in your engine.